Good morning, good morning. Routine. The same switch, the same time, the same names. It's okay. I like it as well this way, such a boring guy. Okay, good morning, everybody. Another beautiful day in Tokyo. We did have a little spell of wet, cold weather there for a few days, but now it's gone back to our normal for us. Normal for us, cold and clear. Other parts of Japan are not like this, If you're over on the Japan Sea coast that faces the continent, it's cloudy and snowy day after day after day. They have meters of snow stacked up. But here on the protected side of the country, the Pacific side, it's different. We have the effect of the warm current. North America has the Gulf Stream. We have what's called the Kuroshio. Whatever, the black current, the black salt current, whatever. And it's mild in winters. It's cold, but it's not much precipitation. So. You just missed a very small, tiny local event. The guy from the little place, Tonchan. There's one of the restaurants on Hoppidori. When you go up Hoppidori from here, the second restaurant on the right. It's a little tiny place called Tonchan. Pork. And it doesn't get much attention. It's just a little quiet guy sitting in the place. Works with his wife. He's got a routine. Every morning he comes out to get some fresh vegetables. He goes to the supermarket there. That's 24-hour supermarket. And around this time he goes out to get some fresh vegetables. Sometimes earlier, 7, 7:30, 8, 8:30, somewhere in there. And every morning he comes out on his bicycle. And every time he comes out, he stops just right there, just where you see that woman walking. Right next door to the ninja place, there's a little alley. And in the alley, there's a little Jizo statue. And every day he does the same thing. He parks his bike, kickstand, goes into the alley, takes a coin or something, 1 coin, 5 yen, 10 yen, whatever, puts it on the Jizo statue and makes his little prayer. It's a ritual, a little tiny ritual. It's just, you just missed it. I was thinking about, when I saw him come, I was thinking about turning the camera on early so we could catch him. I thought that might be not so polite. So how did my booster go? I'm here. So I went to bed. I got the booster at like 5:30 to 6 yesterday out in Ome. Came back on the train. Nothing. Seems okay. Whatever. Went to bed and I thought, okay, my mother with her Moderna had really, she crashed heavily when she got hers. I see if she's here, she can tell us. She said it was the worst night in her life ever. The pattern of people who had Pfizer twice and then Moderna as a booster seems to be that the reaction is stronger, which I guess is what you want. So I was last night, what's going to happen? So I got some juice and stuff ready by the side of my bed in case I couldn't get up, whatever, got a bag ready if I was going to be sick. I don't know, whatever. I went to bed early around 10:30. And then I woke up about 20 minutes ago, just straight through. Nothing. No dreams, no tossing and turning, no fever, no nothing. Yet. My arm is sore. There's soreness in the spot, as expected, but so far, absolutely nothing yet. And we are now 15 hours. So this is good news or bad news? I don't know. The pool, when I was getting the shot yesterday, you go through the check. You check your documents first. There's 3 stations before the actual shot. You go through the thing, they check you got to sanitize your hands, they check your temperature, and then there's 1, 2, 3, the 4 stations with the shot. Station number 1 is document check. You pull out your documents, the paper you got from city office, your numbers, they check you've had 1, 2, show your ID, clear. You're cleared the document check, go to the next one. Then the second one is the nurse/doctor person in a little tent. This is all happening inside the support center. You go in the tent and she checks the documentation, which is all the, are you allergies and all this sort of stuff, the medical things. And she says, what do you think about this? Are you okay with this? I'm like, okay, I'm okay with this, sure. And then I asked her, I said, I have a normal plan. I exercise quite vigorously each morning. And she said, no, tomorrow please lay off. She said, don't do vigorous exercise within the first few hours after getting one of these shots. Just lay off one day. It's okay, doctor's orders. Go to the third check, which is the third little tent where nobody can hear what's going on. And they've got it positioned in a funny way. The third tent is the opt-out tent. Are you sure you want to do this? And I'm like, yes, I want to do this. That's okay. Go through to the 4th tent. But at that point, there's a way to get out. If you decide you don't want to do this, you go out the different exit and you're out and nobody knows you buggered off. So it's kind of strange. I guess some people lose confidence or whatever. They don't do it. So I went to the 4th station. You sit there, take your jacket off, ready, and you go, bang, out, you're finished and done. Then you go to, there's another station, a bunch of chairs all in a row, and you've got your waiting time. Because they're worried about, there is some risk of, what do they call it? There's some kind of reaction some people have, 1 in millions or whatever. So you sit there on your chairs, and the girl checks your time, and when it comes to the time, she says, good, thank you, Mr. Bull. Out you go. Hugely organized. It's so well organized. This is Japan. This is what Japan does, this kind of stuff. This is what Japan does. But anyway, the doctor said no vigorous exercise, so I laid off. The pool people are going to be worried. Did he die or something? What's going on? So. Okay, the work today we have. I have some catch-up desk work today. I have a tiny bit more, 1 minute of carving to do. They've 2 people have printed this, and one of the blocks is soft and needs a bit of adjustment. So I have a tiny bit of carving to do. I have a batch of prints from Kubota-san that came yesterday while I was not here, and they need to be embossed with his name. We could do that. I have share certificates to sign. I think that's not something I should be doing on stream, showing people's names. So let's put that one aside. There'll be another bunch of share certificates going out this afternoon, or tomorrow, realistically. And I have more chopping to do. I have the chopping block at my side. And that's got to be done this afternoon, today, before this afternoon. And we have a show and tell. We were supposed to look at the last section of the match label book, but I think we're going to do something different today because I have to open this. It was supposed to be open a couple of days ago. The guy's waiting for his money, and he doesn't get his money until I've checked that it's open and it's okay. So we've got to open this today. We'll postpone match labels. And this one, when we get there, we'll have to have a little talk about socks. This is not something we see every day here. I am really, really excited about this one. And I'm not teasing you. I am really excited about this one. This is something I had never expected to see, never expected to get. Anyway, whatever. We'll have to talk about socks. Okay. All right, tell you what, let's just grab a job. Oh, the carving first. 1 minute. 1 minute carving job first. And then we'll do some embossing. And if we get bored, we'll move on to trim. The wood blocks we get these days are quite soft, and when they're doing a vigorous, strong color, it requires lots of pressure. And sometimes the wood actually starts to compress and spread out. So there's a place here on the block where the pink color, the background color, is starting to come out. And I have to fix this. And as I said, it's a 1 minute job. What was that? And I'm ignoring conversation, I'm sorry. You're not wearing socks, put some on. If you want socks to be blown off, go and put some on. It's up to you. So, the new YouTube video was great. I had fun with that. I had fun. A bit of funny feedback on that. I've got, in fact, I had a memo I had to mention to you about that. Since the video went up, which is less than 24 hours, I've had 2 serious offers to make NFTs together. One's from an established NFT organization, and one is from some guy who just says, hey, let's do this. We're going to make $1 million. Let's do this. There's also one request to use the thing, to use my images in a YouTube video. And he did it in a bit of a funny way. He did it first and then asked permission later. It's the modern way of doing things, And then, what was the other one here? There was 2 more. I got one proposal in the YouTube comments. I don't really think it was serious. And then I got headhunted. I got an email last night, somebody who had seen this. It's from a company called J Career. They want me to go and work for them with a unicorn tech startup. They've checked my GitHub stuff and they think that I can do a job for them. So what do you think? Shall I take the job offer? They want to headhunt me from Mokuhanka. Okay, let's do some work. Headhunted. I think they didn't do their research quite well enough, and perhaps they don't realize my age, let alone whatever. So. All these people offering me millions of dollars and proposals. Where were you when I was 27? Okay, that's all. It just needed that little corner trim. Yeah, the programmer thing is real. Here in Tokyo especially, they are really, everybody is desperate. Any company, like Toyota is desperate. Everybody's desperate for programmers. So absolutely, I do have actually marketable skills. But give me a break. Yes, especially if you have, whatever. Okay, we can open it. This is a box that arrived. This is another job we sent. We have an unusual tape here. And in the letter, what code language, they gave the letter of the requirements that they wanted. And this is all stuff actually that I do. So, so the white tape, it's the same as the green tape stuff, but it's simply, it's white. You know. Nice to get a little feel of it. We haven't had it for a long time. So. For those of you who don't know, there's the tape discussions that go on. There's this kind of tape in Japan. I don't know what it's actually called. There's a kind of tape in Japan that's come into common use. It's reusable. It will peel off and peel back on, peel off and peel back on. It's quite tight. It also tears very easily and straight. It's got sort of fibers built into it, so it does have some strength as far as the package goes. I think if you tried to break it like this, I don't think you'd be able to do it. And I don't know what it's called. It's usually green, and this is our green tape that we talk about. And it's very, very common in Japan. You can use it, depending on the surface, as a kind of a masking tape because it comes away. I don't think you can't really tape it onto paper because it might hurt the paper surface. But anything like wood or plastic or whatever, you can peel it on and peel it off again. And it's got a nice sound and it's got a nice feel and it's fun. And it doesn't seem to be so common in other places in the world, which is a surprise to me. So here in Japan, this is the ubiquitous green tape that we talk about all the time. So I'm talking about buffering. I am wired in. I'm not using Wi-Fi. I'm showing a complete green at the bottom. Drop frames are 0, so I think I'm okay at this end here. Let's have a look at the prints. This is cool to sound. This is about, I talked about in the video. In the video I talked about it a little bit, you know. This is the guy who is microscopically exact. In the video I mentioned Suga-san stacking her paper up one by one by one by one by one. And in there I might have mentioned Kubota-san, or an older printer. And he is microscopically exact with the way he stacks up things, with the way he ties them, with the way this board will be cut to the same millimeter size exactly. He is an absolute control freak. In a sense that some people might consider actually to be, this man has a problem, you know, if it carries over into his normal life. You know, he probably puts his knife and fork side by side and stuff like this, you know. But for this job, it's a real, my God, he's God. He is the God for us. Himself, he doesn't think of him like this because he has seen in his younger days, he saw men who were much better at it than he is. But for the current world as we have it, he is God. There's nobody that can touch this guy. He is fast, he is skillful, he is exact. And he's humble because he knows how good it can be, even better than what he is, you know. He's astonishing. And the fact that he's willing to work for us and he's happy working for us, this is just gold for us. I don't know how many more years we've got because he's in his mid-70s, but and he's really happy working for us because we don't give him physically large prints, because in his middle 70s now, he doesn't want to stress and strain. So for him, this is small stuff. He does them while watching TV. It's one of Jed's heroes, of course. These are going over. I have to do this today because there's a FedEx box leaving for Jed this afternoon. And I've got to get a bunch of these in it. Jed wants these. These are fabulous, absolutely fabulous. This is from our second round of the heroes. We did a reboot of the ukiyo-e heroes back in, I think it was 2019 or 2018. The original ukiyo-e heroes were tableaus. They were characters in a pose. There was no action happening. So for the second round of ukiyo-e heroes, Jed and I, well, it was under my pressure to Jed. I wanted Jed to activate those tableaus, and I wanted more physical, vivid action in the prints. And Jed came through. Jed came through, absolutely. They're incredible, absolutely incredible. I think I told him I want blood, I want action, I want to see something dying. This is like the old ukiyo-e. The old ukiyo-e wasn't all just about actors posing, it was about blood and guts. And Jed really, really came through. And Kubota-san, now look at this. Kubota-san has done this just incredible. He's going to get paid for this too. Also, do you see? Look, in the dark areas. Do you see the shomenzuri? Look. There are patterns here that are not visible when you see it straight on, but when you tip it sideways, up they come. I'm so happy to be publishing these, you know. The quality of work, there's just nobody is doing this. I keep saying the same thing, but my God. The patterns come depending on the angle you physically look at it, that's all. When you look straight on, you don't see it, but when you see a light reflection, what you're seeing there right now is the light reflecting. I've got a light reflector in front of me. The light bounces down and into you. So you're seeing a shiny reflection. Part of it is physically shinier than the rest of it. This is a flat surface. It's been shined up, polished. I think probably right now today the website for this is turned off because Jed doesn't have any stock. They're sitting here on my desk. So Jed has had this turned off. So here I am promoting it, but there's no web page to buy this right now. Just check ukiyo-e-heroes.com in a week or so from now, 10 days or so, once these have flown over to America by FedEx. Jed will have them on his website. Okay, let's do some work. Dave, I'm talking. Okay, I'm not going to go through the whole stack here. Let me just do a bunch of these, then we'll move on to a different job for a few minutes. Actually, today's stream is all just a warm-up for the Chantel. I don't know. I shouldn't say that, I guess. I'm sorry. It's all just a warm-up. So by FedEx, it'll be a slow boat. We're getting mixed from them. Sometimes it's there a half an hour before we send it, and sometimes it's a week later. We really don't know. These days, FedEx is extremely variable, but that's the world. That's the world, isn't it? At least it does get there. And with FedEx too, we have very little. We have no hassle with the customs and stuff at all. They know how to do that stuff. Okay, this is carved by Chonsan, not me, and it's printed by Kubota. So we have this the name for Chonsan Kubota. Let's check the size here. It goes in here on this mark. Top mark. Let's do this. I need a tool. Okay, let's roll. Okay, let's do a test for position here. Looking good. Yes. And what we got there now, of course, is the embossing of the name. For those of you who haven't seen this before, every print we send out that's got the room for it, we put the carver's name. This is Hori, and this is Tsoiwai Chon. And then the printing here, this is Kubota Kenichi. And that embossing will last as long as this paper lasts. That embossing will last forever. People ask us, does the embossing fade out after a while? You couldn't get that out with a steamroller. Okay, what's the time? It's 8:20 now. Let's do whatever. Let's do 20, 25 minutes of this, or maybe a half an hour of this to get this done. And then we'll switch over. We can maybe do some chopping on the Delight prints, maybe. Let's see. And then by 9:15, we will have our show and tell. Or maybe 9:10. I don't know if I get talked into it. Have it a bit early today. In the meantime, it's up to you. Someone's got a question. I can't even read it. In the meantime, a bit of an unrelated question, but do you know ... I can't see the question. I didn't see the question. I can't see it there. Ask it again. Woodblock top. No, it's not secure. That's why. You're trying to do it securely. I haven't converted that one yet to HTTPS. It's on the list of things for me to do. It's not a priority because there's nothing there to order. But if you try HTTP woodblock.com, it's fine. Browsers these days are automatically adding the S. And I thought I had an htaccess file set up that would allow the other way around, but I guess I screwed it up or something. I don't know. Can you still see the patterns when you frame it? It's up to the light, and it doesn't matter if there's glass in the way. You're seeing it now with the glass lens in the way. The glass doesn't matter. It's all a question of the angle of the light. If the light comes through at the angle, we're talking about that shiny part on the front. What we're doing now, of course, on the back, there's also the same thing is happening with what I'm doing right now. It doesn't mean anything, but I'm rubbing this thing right now with the surface of the barrel on the back. And the same thing, the back becomes shiny because it's been rubbed with the barrel. If I get the angle right, that lettering, there, look, the lettering shines on the back the same way because it's the surface of this thing rubbing the paper which makes it shiny. On the back, we don't really care. But on the front, when we put that pattern in, it makes a nice special effect. The sizing on this looks good too, you know. I think the sizing was all right. Sometimes he says, you know, it was a bit hard. It's a tiny bit on the hard side. But with Kubota-san, we've recently found that he just complains, he tells me too much that the paper pills at the top. So I put the sizing a little bit on the hard side, and you can see it. There's a bit of texture here. The sizing was a bit hard, but he's got through it. Another thing about the video, I put the video up like what was it, yesterday morning. I can't even remember now what time it went up. I don't remember. But one thing I knew would happen this time around, and it did indeed happen. the sweatshirt, I didn't wear this sweater. I wore the sweater with the game name on it, and it's not half the YouTube comments, but it's a good huge chunk of the YouTube comments talk about the game. So, I figured that would happen, but whatever. The other thing, I don't know, did we talk about it on Monday stream? The thing about the haircut? I don't know. The plan was on Monday, I think I'd said I'm going out to Ome on Wednesday for my shot, so I'll get my vaccination in the afternoon, I'll get my haircut in the afternoon before going, then I'll do the video recording the next day, and we'll put the video up Thursday or Friday. I don't remember how much we talked about on Monday. What happened on Monday though, I phoned her, the lady who cuts my hair out there, I phoned her on Monday, and she said, sorry Dave Nogo, I can't help you, because she broke her arm some weeks back, and it's fixed now, but she can't lift her hands up and hold them up high, so she can't cut hair yet. So there I was Monday, what am I going to do, what am I going to do? She can't do this, but I can't record the video with a mess like this right now. So I had some genius inspiration. Tuesday morning, genius inspiration. We had done the thing on Monday morning where I was recording the voiceovers, and I had done the stream last Monday with you guys with headphones on. So I thought, that's the way to do it. I can record the video with headphones on. That'll keep my hair from falling out of my eyes. You can do that. So that's why the video. You're asking about YouTube notifications. I don't have any idea how they work. Myself too. Oops. We have a problem here. Okay, we have a problem. We've developed a hole in this thing, and it's catching on the corner of the paper. If I'm not careful, we will lose some prints. So excuse me, let me head for the party room. I gotta grab another Baron. 1 sec. You shut. No can do, no can do, no can do. I don't know, you can't change sitting here at this desk. I gotta go up the stairs to the sink. It's another 20-minute job, but that's what's inside. Just for those of you who don't know, this is what they look like. The Baron is the hard disk with a coil inside and a bamboo skin over the top. That's the inside. I can do one of two things here. Let's see if I can finagle this a little bit. Let's see. As long as that hole doesn't hit the corner of the paper, we'll be okay. So if I keep it down this way. We're okay. The hole is here. It's not near the corner. I got in trouble because I ran the hole over the corner. So we've got some prints. Thank you. Good. I know I've really appreciated the feedback this time because of the new shipping method, the airmail shipping method. We've been concerned about how the prints are going to go through, but I've had lots of reports that the monthly prints have gone straight through. Talk about the bearings. The real ones. The bearing that we've got here, this is from our party room. The party room at the back. And this is a bearing. This is a student level bearing. It's not a home button. It's got the same shape and function. There's coiled twine and a backing disc and the bamboo. That's the same shape and function. But this is a student one. So the backing sheet for this one is simply a piece of plywood with a bit of varnish and lacquer on it. And it's cut into a disc shape. Then the cord here, this is a commercial cord which has been dipped in glue to make it harder. So this is not a $1,000 carefully handcrafted bearing. This is a school bearing. And we use these in the party room for obvious reasons, so they don't get messed up. And I'm using it here because running over these typefaces does wear and tear on the bearing quite a lot. So I don't want to use one of our home bearings, one of our real bearings from upstairs. So we use the student bearings for this job here at this desk. And the skins are of course disposable. When you're doing a job in real printing that requires heavy pressure, you may change the skin twice or once. You'll do it in the morning, change it at lunchtime, and then use the different skin in the afternoon. For the delicate kind of work you saw in that video that we just put up, that wouldn't be bearing changing every day, of course. She'll use the same bearing for a few days on end, absolutely. So we're talking about a long comment here. One thing I really love is seeing you grope around everywhere trying to remember where things are. I don't know. I'm not a printer. That's not my printing bench. It's left-handed, right-handed. This stuff, it's a test proof. It's just whatever. But part of the power of that video we just did does show this. Sugasan's efficiency. That's really what I wanted to show. Not so much that I was just fooling around, because it was obviously a casual session for me, but that a real printer can be so efficient. I love to do a video with Kubota-san. Watch him doing some of this. I also regret now that I don't have video of myself from back in the day when I was a production printer, because I used to do that. My God. When I did those Surimono albums, my God, I was a production printer. Put out a print every month by myself, traced the design, carved the full set of blocks, and printed 200 copies, and wrapped it all up and mailed it out. I did that 10 times a year, so an average of 5 weeks for each one. So I was, just like you see Suga-san in that video, I was a machine. It's a bit of a regret to me that I don't have video of that. Is the outside audio too loud? I can turn it down. It's completely controllable from here. I've got a minus 22 dB. It's controllable from here. And because I had all the cameras and stuff moved upstairs, it's all been reset again. All the cables are changed around and reset. Yeah, I think she was just a noisy shoe person. How do you make a living off making woodblock prints, the same as you make a living as a baker. What's the difference? You have to produce a product that other people in society will want, and you share your labor with their labor. Produce a product that other people find that they want to make part of their lives. And if you can do that, then that's the way to do this. No sarcasm at all. You know, how do you make a living off printmaking? It's the same way you make a living off anything. Other people have to want to share your productivity. So someone's asking the question, how come Dave is doing this job? We go over this every single time. Kubota-san, the craftsman whose name I'm putting on now, he doesn't care about this at all. He's trying to think and feel in the mood of the old days. He feels that the person who designed this, Jed, should get the credit, that people should look at this and think, here's a wonderful work by Jed Henry. That's Kubota-san's idea. And he's right, of course, Jed has created this. Dave here wants to balance this. I want to recognize the 4 people who made this. The commander, the conductor, me, Dave Bull, who commanded this into being, asked this guy to do this person to do this, and this person to do this. That's the commander, the conductor. Then, of course, there's the designer, Jed Henry. He's going to sign this. His name is going to go on it. And I also want to recognize the other 2 teams, the carving team and the printing team. This, in the old UQA days, there was very, very rare for craftsmen's names to be recognized because it was just the printing business. But I want everybody's name, where possible, to be associated with this. I don't put my name on it. That's okay. I'll sit in the background. People know who I am. But I want the designer and the carver and the printer to be recognized. Kubota-san, he's older than me from a previous generation. He says, no, we don't need that. It's okay. I don't care. Just pay me and I'll get out of the way. He says, if you want that stuff on there, do it yourself. And I do want this on here, so yeah, I do it myself. He laughs at me. It's going to take me an extra couple of hours to do this. That's just the way it is. And he said that if you want to do that, do it yourself. We're good friends. There's no hostility in the conversation, you know. He thinks he thinks, Dave, people don't need that. It doesn't matter. Part of it is humility, a little bit. He's a little bit, maybe I overlap a little bit in this. He is really proud of his skill, of course, but he is Japanese. He's an older generation than me. He can't, you know, walk around like, look at me, look at me, look at me. So he's completely quiet. I'm sure he thinks I sort of brag too much and show off too much and stuff like that, but whatever. So I think that he knows this is going on here, and I think it's quiet pride for him, but he can't ask for it himself. Actually, we're well past half. Just do this. There's only about 15 sheets left. Let's just do this. Has he watched the video? I don't know. I really don't know. It would be interesting to sit and chat with him, you know. That would be actually a fun content for a video itself. Get a couple of cameras set up, ready, get mics, get Kubota-san, sit down at his bench. I'll go and sit next to him. We watch that video together and then see his reaction and talk about it. That would be a great video in itself. The other thing about the Remembering a Carver video, you know, it's actually a 3-part series. Part 1 is the video you're talking about, Remembering a Carver. Part 2 I put up on YouTube about 2 years ago. Part 2 is also there. What's it called? I can't remember what I called it. Not the epilogue. Update, not update. What do they call it when there's another one coming? Remembering a Carver, the next one, you know, part 2, whatever. It doesn't say part 2. And then there's a sequel, yes. There's Remembering a Carver, the sequel is on YouTube already. And the third one, it's finished in my head, but I have to actually go ahead and make it. Remembering a Carver, the epilogue. And it's his daughter. I have to sit down with his daughter and look at those things and look at the block. We have his TV block. It's still here on my desk, under my desk. And we need Remembering a Carver, the epilogue. His daughter and granddaughter need to join me. Look, we're almost done here. Good. Thanks for the patience on this. We're almost done. Someone said you got a Kubota tractor. It's a common name. It's a very common name. It's not like Smith, but it's a very common Japanese name. Lots of people call it Kubota. Yeah, he's allowing me to use his name. There are other cases. Some of you have seen this. We've done this before. I have been doing this embossing, and we use the word Suritaro because that specific printer does not want his name in public. It's not like he's embarrassed with Mokang. I don't want my name on your crap. No, it's because he's working for another company. He's moonlighting for us, and if they find out about it, he's in trouble. That's not Kubota-san's case. It's another one, another printer, and we use the word Suritaro for him. And at some point in the future, when he's left them and when he's joined us, that will become public knowledge, but not yet. Yeah, take the print out of the plastic. Never keep the prints in the plastic. Prints need to breathe. If you keep it wrapped up in plastic, you're going to kill it. Plastic is just for shipping. Absolutely. Plastic is just for shipping. No packing is the best packing. Wikipedia states you're Canadian yet from the UK. I'm both. I have dual nationality. I was born in the UK. I'm a British citizen or British subject. What are they called? I have a British passport in the background somewhere. And our family emigrated to Canada when I was 5 years old, and we became Canadian citizens shortly after that. Mentally and personality-wise, I'm Canadian, more than British, I guess, but that's perhaps debatable. I don't know. So I am a British-born Canadian citizen resident in Japan is the thing. British-born Canadian citizen, full permanent resident in Japan. Wikipedia, jeez, I don't know. I don't check that, my God. Wikipedia. Does it say nice things about me? I don't know. I don't know. The last thing I got time for is to go to read a Wikipedia page. Yeah, so I predate the Queen. That's right. She's got this long streak going. I'm older. So, I mean, she's older than me, but I mean, I've been British longer than she's been Queen. So, although here in Japan now too, I've been in Japan during 3 emperors. I've seen them come and go. And in Britain, I've seen 2 monarchs, King George VI and Queen Elizabeth II. Not that I remember this, but so. I've seen 2 monarchs and 3 emperors. Oh, that's right. Look at this. Somebody is reminding me about my mother's birthday. So, God. I'm supposed to phone her after the stream today, but is that okay to talk about it on the stream? Is my mother here today? It is indeed her birthday, of course. Yeah. Is Mom here? How do you check this? Yeah, she's here. I don't know. I don't know if she wants to talk about it. Is she going to say hello? Come on, Mom, you've been outed. Come on up. She's not here, is she? Or she's not going to say anything? I don't know. Yes, you're here, you're here. Okay. God. I don't think I would have brought up this topic on stream, but okay. Somebody, how do you know? Who brought this up? Who started this? John, is Tom 1060, is it? Okay. How does 1060? Hey. My mom's quiet. It's okay. Did you notice something else about this? We got to the bottom of Kubota-san's pile. I opened this, you saw me, I opened this from Kubota-san. I haven't prepped this. I opened it from Kubota-san. We just went through, we started at the top of the pile, and we got to the bottom of the pile. And did you notice something missing? No cut corners. No cut corners. I haven't counted them yet. I think I sent him 80 sheets of paper. I don't even remember. I'll have to look it up in the book. That's how many I sent him. And the guy just sends back the full stack of paper to me. I mean, just give me a break. Just give me a break. He's incredible. He is absolutely, absolutely incredible. Okay, I will have to check these. I will go through them now. Because I've been chatting with you guys and doing this quickly, I didn't check them. And it's Kubota-san too. He runs through pretty quickly. So I do have to go through once more. I'll do a pass. Looking to see if there's some misregistration or something, or a weak color. You know, I don't know. What he would have done is he would have put 2 or 3 sheets of his own paper at the beginning for testing, for color mixing, and for registration. He doesn't want to waste my paper. So he would have used his own paper. He's really, really super polite. He would have spent the money on some nice washi, put 3 or 4 or 5 sheets at the beginning for the testing, and once the testing is clear, bang, he would try and do my paper properly. If he didn't do it that way, I gave him whatever, 80 sheets. If I expected the first 2 or 3 sheets to be tested, it's okay. I wouldn't complain at all. If I wanted absolutely 80 sheets to come back, I would have to give him, 85 or 90 sheets to make sure that that was going to happen. You don't just give the person the exact amount you want, of course. But he's been considerate. He's just put some extra sheets himself and done it that way. So wonderful, wonderful, wonderful. Okay, that's job part 1 is done here now. Is that print the only one printed by Kubota that is being shipped out? I don't understand your question. I don't know. Kubota-san works for us every day. He's already got the next job. I sent him the blocks for the next job some days ago. So I'm not sure, Rod-san. I don't understand your question here. So. Yeah, we treat them with respect and we pay them. We pay way over anybody else's rates in the business here. Absolutely. We've talked about this before. It's easy for me to do that because we don't have a level of what's called eigyo man in Japanese. Okay, what's the time? It's 8:52. Okay. Let's do this then. The other job that I myself will have to finish this afternoon is going to be chopping. So let's do a little bit of the chopping here. We're not going to make you sit through 5,000 copies here, but I do have to do chopping. Let's do this until 9:10 or so. And then let's switch to, is that the only Heroes print being sent to Jed done by Kubota? Did he do others being sent in dispatch? I sent to Jed, 2 weeks ago, I sent over 200 Heroes prints of about 15 different types. I was missing 3 or 4. I was missing this one. I was missing the Hero Rest. That's coming in from Mitamura-san tomorrow or this afternoon. So that job has to be done this morning. This job has to be done by this afternoon. We are still packing the final group of February prints for the Delight. If you're one of the people who was on the 3rd group, every month our subscribers are split into 3 groups. The people who get billed on the 1st of the month, the 11th of the month, and the 21st of the month. And these have now come through to me. And these are the group that are going to be going out to the customers on the 21st of the month. So my deadline, it's not today, but I have got to get these to Ome as soon as I can. So for the next few minutes, I didn't get the bags. 1 sec, please. Excuse me. I'm just thinking about the show and tell today. When I saw this thing on auction last week, I was just browsing. There's so many prints on Yahoo Auctions. I don't even see a quarter of them. There must be so much stuff I miss that goes by. I don't even see a quarter of it. This one I did see about 2 weeks ago. It came up with it. Wait a minute. I enlarged it, looked at it. It's enhanced. I looked at the thing, enhance, and oh my God. And clearly the guy who put the item up on auction didn't have a clue what he had. And what I was hoping was that a lot of other people would not recognize it either. And so it was. I had to bid up a little bit on it, but clearly nobody else knew what this thing was. Otherwise the price would have gone 10 times, 20 times. It just would have gone stratospheric. So clearly nobody else who happened to have seen that one knew the backstory. And we're going to see the backstory. 20 more minutes. It's so cool. There's a thing, I've got some knowledge here. There's 40 years of knowledge, and sometimes that kind of knowledge can pay off. When I know something you don't know. Okay, I'll be on. We're not on camera. Okay, just let's get this sorted out. Just a sec here. Here, zoom in. Where are we going to do the packing? I'll do the packing here. Okay. Today's version of Dave Gets Rare Stuff for Pennies. It's not pennies this time. I had to pay, the auction I think was $150. I had to pay for this one. And in fact, I had to think about, do I have enough money left in Dave's pocket money to buy this? Because the auction stuff I buy, it's not Mokohankan buying this. It's not Patreon money. All the auction stuff you see me get is from my own leftover salary. I get my salary here. I get paid rent for the Ome house. Then I pay my taxes and health insurance and my food, and whatever's left over is for Dave's little enjoyment about the prints. So the prints you see on auctions, the prints you see me here, this is not company business. The thing we're going to see today is so rare. Oh my God, so rare, so rare, so rare. We also do have to sort out who is going to do this job throughout the year. I've been doing it now for January and February, but I'm not the person that should be doing this through the year. You know. The stuff that goes into the flea market, the company does buy it. Of course, that's different. And when we're bidding on these auctions, I'm looking at this with two eyes. One eye is stuff I want for myself, and I am a retail buyer. I'm willing to pay up to a retail price for it. And I use my own bank account to fund that auction. Stuff that is not for me, that I think is going to go in the back room for Watanabe-san to do, and then into our flea market, I have to buy wholesale. So if the price on the auction starts to go up to the price that that item is worth, I have to drop out. Because in order for me to sell it for what it's worth, we have to buy really low. So those items, we can only get them when we buy really low, and those are funded from the company account. When I'm paying for the auction, I fund it with a company card, not my own card. So the auction buying we do is split into two things. Buying for myself, and in myself, someone's saying, can I do any tax deductions with my antique buying? Myself, no. I used to, but once this became a company, and I am now an executive of the company, I cannot legally run a business on the side selling and buying woodblock prints. It's not permitted. There are rules about arm's length regulations. And because I am an executive of a woodblock print publishing company, I cannot take tax deductions for buying woodblock prints. So it's my hobby that is not in any way tax deductible. That's just the way it works. And the accountant has really warned me about that. If you try and deduct some of those expenses, they will chop you down to size right away. So the prints we're going to see on the show and tell today here, I bought with my salary, and I can in no way get a deduction for them, not at all. No, I don't know the background. There's obviously lots of tax finagling possibilities that I do not have the knowledge to think about. But the tax people, they know all the ins and outs, and they know how people manipulate things. So the rule is simple. You cannot take expenses for items that are related to your core business, so, to your core job. No, we have got to find a person to do this job for the rest of the year, because there's no way I should be spending time on this. What happened with that giant book of large prints you got when NHK was here? I think you're going to have to remind me about that one. Oh, that's, yeah, even the Tokaido set we got. We opened the Tokaido set while she filmed it. It's here. That has gone into the collection. We haven't had time to photograph it yet, but that will be a major part of our collection, or my collection. We have a number of Tokaido sets now. We have, I don't know, about 30 different Tokaido sets. That's part of the problem with this collecting business we're doing here is we are very much at the moment in an acquisition mode. So the acquisitions are running way, way faster than our ability to process them, to photograph them, to put them on in the collection. So at the moment it's very much an accumulation mode. I'm sorry, we would like to be, if I show it to you here today, I would like to have it on our collection tomorrow, but we just can't do that. How many Tokaido sets do I own? I don't know, at least 30. At least 30. And in fact, we've got another one. In fact, this is funny. This has nothing to do with today's show and tell, but another Tokaido set came in today. And I bought this on auction because one, it was really, really cheap. It's a full Tokaido set. I'll put the link in, because John, you will be interested in seeing this. Just a minute, let me find the link here. 1 second, please. Hang on a sec. Let me book out here. I bought this one because I didn't believe how bad it was. I'm sorry. There was, I've been collecting good, beautiful woodblock prints. That Tokaido set we opened when NHK was here was glorious. This came up on auction a few days ago. And it is so bad that it is hard to believe any human beings would actually take the time and trouble to make this and sell this. And I bought it for part of our Hall of Shame. And I can put this in here. I'll put the link in. You can see the auction. Where's the chat here? Hang on a sec. Chat. Send a message. Copy, paste. Go. You can see this. But my God, we're not going to open it today. We'll save it for later. And if you're going to show people how good things can be, you can also show them here. Here's what most of the companies were doing. Now that's why this one we're trying to talk to you is good. Look at the images in that thing. We do. We have a Hall of Shame here as well. We have a cut corner. This is Sugu-san, and this is the batch of prints that you saw in the video the other day. Sugu-san was the third printer to run these prints. Rei-chan did the group that went out on the 1st of the month. Ishikawa-san did the group that went out on the 11th of the month. And Sugu-san did the group that is going to go out on the 21st. And she has given me a cut corner. And I know what this is because I saw it happen. And she says, don't show this in the video. And I'm like, I won't show this in the video. I've seen this before. It's okay. It's not shameful for her. This is not perfectionist group. Let's see what's happened here. There's the cut. Where's the camera? There's the cut corner. Can we zoom in more, maybe? Okay, let's do this. It's not shameful for Sugi-san. This is not a perfect print. It's okay. I won't show it. I mean, I won't show it on the video. It's okay. There's no embarrassment here. She's a fabulous, fabulous, fabulous printer. It's okay. It's fine. There's no embarrassment here. She's a wonderful, wonderful printer. And of course, you can see there's one tiny little dab of pigment. And it's funny because that's a place where the block is really carved out quite deeply. And what this came from a finger. She had got her, you saw in the video, mix color, mix color, mix color. She got a tiny dab of pigment without noticing it. Her finger must have touched the edge of the cup. So she did this, put the pigment on, rub, 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 rub. She goes into the stack to pull the sheet of paper out. She pulls the sheet of paper out, and at that point your fingers are touching the good side of the sheet, and you put it on the block and you rub. This happens to all of us, and at that one moment, she just got a tiny dab of pigment, and there it is, bang, and it came up in the wrong place. So this, I'm not embarrassing her. It's kind. She's not 100% printer. Neither am I. Neither is anybody. But for me now, what's going to happen with this is this. We have here one print that can't be used, and we have 4 that can be used. So I've already got now, from the previous groups, I've got some of these where one of the other prints was the one that became no good. So it's going to be mix and match. I'm going to toss that one and replace it with a print from something else. So I'll put that aside for the moment, and we'll mix and match. So not all 5 of those prints will be tossed, just one of those prints will be tossed. How's our time? 9:07. Tick, 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 tick. Today's show and tell is another very interesting aspect to it, in that we're going to see beautiful prints. We're going to see beautiful prints, 16 prints. We're going to see beautiful prints today in show and tell. But there's another very interesting aspect to this. What does it mean to be an original woodblock print? They talk about original woodblock prints. This is an original Hokusai. Well, we all know, of course, when Hokusai, whatever, they made their prints, they cut the blocks. When Hokusai was alive there, he designed it. They cut a set of blocks and they printed it and sold the prints in the marketplace. The blocks, as they do with us, the blocks stay in the storeroom. You pull them out, you print them again later on. Is that an original Hokusai? Well, Hokusai didn't even look at the first group either. He just did the design, handed it in, and left to do something else. So the first group of prints that came off the blocks, we count them now as they were original Hokusais from 1832 or something. And what about the second group that was printed 6 months later? Well, of course, they're identical. They're the same. There might be a tiny bit of block wear. Then what happens with the next group a year later? And the next group 5 years later? And the next group 20 years later? Are these also original Hokusai prints? There's no clear line. As time goes on, day by day by day, one block might be split, they carve a new one, put it back in. It's a ship of Theseus kind of a question. Is it really an original print? And the prints we're going to look at today are that kind of a concept. Is it really an original Hiroshige? What does it mean to be an original woodblock print when you were making woodblock prints as a commercial environment? So that's the lead up. What we're going to look at today in the show and tell are some original Hiroshige prints. How's our time? A few minutes. Okay. Excuse me. Cameras. You guys talking about cameras, are you? Hi. Okay, this is the last one. This is the last one. Let's get going on the show and tell. It's going to take some time to show those things, so let's have a look. Let me clean up here. Let's clean up. Excuse me. Wait. Show and tell. Ooh, my shoulder is sore still from the thing yesterday. So. Okay, the story behind these prints. The story behind these prints is simple. I know there's a bit of a story. I know part of the story, part of it is sort of lost to history. We're in 1927, and there's a Kyoto publisher, a guy called Sato Shotaro. This is the end of the Taisho era, beginning of the Showa era. This is 1927. Sato Shotaro, a Kyoto publisher, has heard news that a collector in Paris has an interesting item. The item is a group of Hiroshige drawings. Sato-san heads over to Paris, meets this collector, and yes indeed, what that collector has is a group of 8 Hiroshige drawings. Not just drawings, but carefully done with line work and titles ready to go. These are hanshita, ready to be pasted down on the block, made into a woodblock print. They date from, I think it's 1847. They're dated. There's a censor seal on them. It was an actual job back when Hiroshige was alive, waiting to be published in 1847. The unknown part of the story, why they didn't get published, we don't know. The researchers tell us that they think that publisher went bankrupt because that publisher's name is not seen again for the next few years. So he hired Hiroshige to do some drawings, got them all ready, got them ready to paste down. Business went bankrupt, and away they go. So the drawings didn't get pasted onto blocks and didn't get thus destroyed. The story now goes blank, and we now see these drawings reappearing in Paris in 1927 in this collector's collection. How they got there, nobody knows. Whatever. Some foreigner in Japan in the 1860s, 1870s, 1880s found them, bought them, took them back to France. Sato-san goes over to Paris, says to this guy, "This is insane, let's publish these." And he did. In 1928, in Kyoto, by the publisher Sato Shotaro, they published the set of Hiroshige prints as woodblock prints. Original Hiroshige designs, pasted onto wood, carved, color blocks made, and then printed. This is 1928. This series, they made 100. They did it as a limited edition, and they made 100 copies of them. I have never actually seen them. The blocks later went to the Unsodo company, and in the immediate post-war period, Unsodo did an edition using those blocks. They did it as an open edition using those blocks. The blocks then disappear. Nobody knows what's going on. A reproduction set was made later in the 1970s or 80s by the Oedo Mokuhansha company. What we have here, I saw this on the auction the other day. What we have here, oh, this is from 1928. 1928. It's a Hiroshige design, carved and printed from a drawing, a tracing that was preserved from 1847 over to 1927 in Paris. The story gets better. Just hang on a minute. This gets better. But we have here one of the original prints from 1928. This is the, it's Sato Shotaro Han. And what we have here is not a print from the edition. What we have here, it says Mihon. This is the sample copy that went to the printer to tell him what to do for the edition. I saw this on the auction the other day. I thought, there's no way. This is going to go like $10,000. This is an absolutely, totally rare, never to be replicated piece of ukiyo-e history. I will not be able to afford this. And nobody else figured out what it was. There's the seal. I've never seen this. I never in my life ever expected to see this. Let me give you a couple of links here. Let me find my notebook. Hang on a sec. I made a notebook with a couple of links here. First, here's a link that explains the story in a bit more full. This is the story that I just told you about. Here on that page, there's a, you can see some pictures of the reproductions. Those are there. But it tells the story about what's going on. Here's 3 links in a row that are all related to this story. 1, 2, and 3. Now it gets better. It gets better. Just hang on a minute. It gets better. It gets better. Like I said, we have 16 prints here. There's 8 prints in this set. Why do I have 16 prints? Because what we have here is a 16 print set of Junjo Zuri. We have the full set from Key Block, adding up the colors one by one by one by one to make the finished print. They had this carved by Maeda-san. We know Maeda Kentaro. He carved this, so this is 1928, the absolute top gun. And what we're seeing here now is a print, one of the earliest first copies printed from the blocks carved by Maeda-san from Hiroshige's drawing. The Hiroshige's drawing, preserved from 1847 to 1927, pasted down on a piece of wood and carved. And this, here you're seeing now, is one of the earliest proof copies from this. It's an ancient, this is Asakusa. My God, this is Asakusa. This is Sensoji Temple with the old pagoda. The pagoda is on the old location over on the east side. I never, ever, ever would have expected to get this. And here we go. Let's go through. Am I going to zoom in, zoom out? Let's just go through it once in a full view here. The first color is gray. We have a gray tone printed here and there. Reduce the street cam. Okay, can do. Yeah. Fair enough. Good idea. Thank you. Reduce my camera too. Can I? Thank you. Good idea. Who's there? There are 16, if anybody's going to count and keep track here. They're not all in perfect condition, but I do not care. We next have Nikuiro. It's actually a flesh tone. It's going to do for... We can perhaps zoom in a bit more and get this. Let's go through it first like this. Then what we'll do is we'll zoom in on one area and we'll go through again one by one by one by one in a zoomed in area. But let's just go get the overview first. We now have what comes next. We now have Yamabuki, a yellow color. In fact, I think, is that the only place? Here and here, the only places. We have a Yamabuki yellow. Oh, they're out of order. Come on, guy. I thought this guy would have put them all in order. What's next? Oh, that's out of order. Okay, just a minute. I'm just opening the package here. Why did the guy put them out of order? Nanda, nanda. The next one we have here wasn't Yamabuki yellow. It was gray gradation up on top of the temple. Yeah, there's a gray gradation all through the back here. Next, on top of the gray gradation comes, there's the gray gradation. It's still there. Now comes the Yamabuki. The guy didn't know what he's doing. Somebody didn't notice this. Okay, they're going to come up random or they're going to be in order. I have no idea. We'll take our guesses as they come. No, they're still out of order. Oh, sorry guys. There's no yellow, so it comes before the yellow one. There's no gradation, so it comes before the gradation one. Oh, it's a darker gray. I see. Okay. So the amateur who put this together here in this order for the auction didn't get it. There was a lighter gray and there was a darker gray, which is on some of the places, but not on all of the places. So my apologies. I'm just opening this for the first time. Darker gray comes up. Then light gray comes up. And then yellow comes up. And somebody's numbered these in pencil and they've erased and renumbered. Idiots. 3, 4, 5, 6. Next one should be 7. It's erased. Who knows? Let's give it a go. No, there's no yellow there. So we're still going back. There's no gradation. Well, there is a gradation, but no yellow. Crap. There it is. Okay, look at this. Some of this is, oh my God, oh my God, oh my God. Look at this, look at this, look at this. Okay, here we go. That one is here. Gradation, black. Excuse my radio silence here, whatever. These two look identical. Is there a difference? Is there a difference? These two look the same. No. Oh no, there's, yeah, there's the same. Same umbrella. I don't know. I will have to spend some time figuring this out. These look, at the first glance, these look identical. This next one has some small color in these kimono people. Then we have the yellow. Sorry about this. I'm seeing this for the first time. Well, now we have two all at once, which means this is also going to be out of order. Yeah. Sorry, they're all out of order. Whatever. What can I say? What can I do? No, I've got it. There is a difference. It's a puzzle. I'm sorry. Okay, let me get them in order first, then we'll go through again. Just one sec. There's the shrine gate there. Then, no, that's got the yellow. This is the shrine gate first. Then this is shrine gate plus yellow. Nanda. They're all over the place, out of order. Come on. They must have given this to an amateur. That's got the, sorry guys, just a minute. Okay, this looks like it might be next. It's got color up at the top here. This might be next. It's got the top. This has the red. Just a second here. Nope. Back, going back, roll it back, roll it back. One color here, two colors here. Add the purple, add the red. Ah well, can't be helped. I didn't know. Color at the base. Oh, this one's pretty clear, coming next. Another red, this is clear. Yep, there we are with that one. There we are, that one. Okay, I got them. They're in order now. Sorry about that. Let's do this. Okay, let's zoom in on one place here then and try this again. Okay, now they're in order. Thank you for your patience. The auction guy just didn't know. Okay, let's find a place to zoom in. Let's start something like this. Okay, got it? Thank you for your patience. Let's do this. The key block comes, of course, first. On top of the key block here now, we have a gray tone put in here and there. This is a block carved with no gradations. There are places where it looks like a gradation, but it's actually carved. There are lines carved into this block. This gray is a flat color being printed. Next one on top of this one came, as I said, what we call Niku Iro. It's Momo, it's a peach type color. It's also the same color we use for skin tones. And here it's being used as a covering for the wood. Next one up, what they've added now, they've added a darker gray. In some places, there was a gray everywhere. Now we've got places where there's a darker gray and a lighter gray poking out. Some more tree shadows. So it's kind of like what they called a Nezumi-ban later on in the 20th century. A second level of gray. You can see now, darker gray and lighter gray. What came next? Oh yeah, what came next is the gray gradation in the background. Can we find a place where we can see it here? Let me move to a place where you can see it. No, just a minute. Is that doubled up? I don't know. Is that doubled up? For the life of me, I cannot see the difference between these two. I cannot see the difference between those two. We'll have to take a rain check on that one. I'll get back to you later. That one I'm not sure about. I'm sorry. It looks like the same sheet is in there twice, but there must be something in there. There must be something in there. There must be something in there that I'm just not catching. Let's move on. Sorry, you can sit here all day. The next one is easy. there is the shrine gate here has some blue-gray tone inside. And I think there are a couple of places, some of the people have been added a blue-gray tone, very small. What's coming next? Next is an easier one. The yellow has been added here and there. No yellow here, we've added yellow in. Next is, in the area up at the top, we have the logo area, the title area. We now have color being added. One color first being added, and then I believe the next impression will have the second color. It'll be added a gradation coming up from the bottom. The next one is also up at the top area of the print. We have the cloud effect. The color has been added to the cloud effect up at the top. The next one is a simple again. We have the Hiroshige signature, and we have signature being added. What's next? Next is, oh yes, this is a subtle one. There's a cloud effect at the bottom as well. This one also has a very faint tint included into it. It's difficult to see because the paper has become toned. If the paper was still bright white, this would show more clearly at this point. What's next? Oh, next is an easy one now. Let's get to the temple itself. The temple itself is getting its undertone color now of the light vermilion red. And it goes on in two stages. They've done another one to highlight other areas, to give it some depth. And next, it's over here. Oh, we can see it here too. The temple in the background, there's still white areas. They're getting a blue area in the background. And then, of course, the final one now here comes in with a sky. So there's one in the middle I missed there. There must be something in there that I just haven't seen yet, clearly. But here we go. And this is a treasure for me now. This is a treasure. We will get these photographed and put on the website as soon as we possibly can. But I am so pleased to have this. I'm not usually sort of acquisitive. I don't want stuff and want stuff. But just to get what is clearly a perfect example of a sample print from 1928 before the printing run started. This is just so cool for me to have. It's so cool. It wasn't all that cheap. It cost me, did I paste the auction link already in here? I don't know. I'm sorry, just a sec. This wasn't dirt cheap. This isn't one of those things that Dave gets for $10 and everybody is wow, wow, wow. This cost me 15,000 yen. Here's the link to the auction. This cost 15,000 yen, so it was a... Okay, somebody's got this. The one I thought is a duplicate is a darker lines on the tree trunks. I will go back and look. Okay, thank you very much. Okay, I will check. Color added to the trees. Okay. I believe you. I will go back and check. That's the yellow. It's before the yellow, right? It's these two. I'm still not sure if I'm seeing it. Here they are. I really don't know. I'm still on. Am I being dense here? But I am still not really seeing a difference here. Look at the triangle base. Well, that's the key block is missing on it. Oh, I see. There's a darker. Okay, wait a minute. Okay, I see something here. All right. Okay. This is a tough one. There is something different. It's a black block, of course, a dark gray or a black block. There it is. Okay, here we go. Got it. Got it. Got it. Got it. Got it. Okay. It is. It's a black block. It's on top. We have key lines here, but the key line here has become fattened up. This is a dark gray, almost black block, which obviously comes into parts of the trees. Yeah, okay, I got it. That's a subtle one. Why didn't they put that into the key block? I wonder if that was perhaps an afterthought. Maybe they went back after they had done test proofing and thought they needed one more. That's interesting. That is a subtle one. It's here again, very light here. These key lines are very light and they become thickened and made more heavy. Here we see it here to show. In this area here in the tree, and then up here, this darker area added. That's a subtle one. Thank you. Good. Eagle Eye Chat. Thank you very much. I don't know who deserves chocolate eggs here, but thank you very much. Thank you, thank you, thank you. That's a tough one. My guess is that that's an afterthought. They went back and put that in because they found that it wasn't working. Eggs for everyone. Okay, thank you very much. Fair enough, fair enough. That's a tough one. I can see why the guy who had the auction didn't have a clue about how to put these into the proper order. Absolutely. Okay. All right, a bit of a mix and match here today. Thank you very much. A little bit of detective work on the part of everybody. Thank you. And follow the links. The link I posted there to the story, you know. And then the question, is this then an original Hiroshige print? What's the difference? In 1847, Hiroshige handed in the design and said, okay, you guys, I'm out of here. I'll see you later. The craftsman would have made the print and published it. This one, simply there was a pause. From 1847 to 1927, there was a pause. Hiroshige was out of it. That's the same. So is this an original Hiroshige print? I don't know. You tell me. I'm happy to have it. No idea what it is. No idea. No idea. No idea. Someone says yes, someone says no. Whatever. It's all your point of view. Actually, looking at it now too, I can see we are missing one impression. Did you see this? We're missing one. We put the sky in. We had no sky. We put the sky in, but then there was another impression. They put in the black line at the top, the Ichimoji Bokashi. So here this has been done at the same time. There's no way that would have been done at the same time. Sky would go in first, gradation at the top. So they've missed one here. They've missed one. Anyway, there you are. That'll do us. Okay, it's Thursday morning here now. Here we are. That's enough for today. I'll be back here in a couple of days. Saturday morning. As always, I have no idea. Absolutely no idea what I'm going to be doing. Not a clue. Thanks for your help with a little bit of detective work there. Thank you, gang. There we go. And construction has already started. If you heard the intro to that video I put up yesterday, there were 3 construction jobs going on at the same time while I was doing that. The hot dog place was rebuilding their bottom, the smoke shop was rebuilding, and the building behind us is still deconstructing. So there were 3 major construction zones. Anyway, that's enough for me for now. I'll see you in a couple more days. Thank you very much. Bye for now.